Welcome back to Sweat Equity. Eric Valdez alongside Jules Johnson and Lynn Lopez, guys. Hope y'all had a great weekend, all right? Or y'all enjoying y'all weekend for this 4th of July. All right, be safe out there, all right? Don't blow your fingers off.
Stay cool. Stay hydrated because it's hot.
And don't post like 10 videos of these fireworks, guys. It's annoying.
Back up, Terry.
All right. Put it in reverse there.
Put it in reverse there.
Oh my God. That had to come out. It had to come out. For sure. Gotta put it in reverse, Terry. Yeah, all right. For sure. All right, guys. Today's topic, guys, I want to start out, so I want to go ahead and play a soundbite. All right, and then talk about this, all right, because I know I like to bet, and things like that. How about you? Do you like to bet?
Nah.
You're not gambling?
I'm not gambling.
Degenerate gambler. 100%. Yeah.
I ain't like that. I'm not big, like Vegas odds better, like that.
Okay.
I do want to get into it and stuff like that. But I'm just, I feel like I have a little bit more control, on the blackjack table than I do, if I'm betting if fucking, if someone's going to, throw a strike or, if LeBron James is going to hit 60 points and stuff like that. That's nothing on me. So, that's what makes me stop.
Blackjack, 3-card poker, for sure. And if I just feel like fucking around, roulette.
So blackjack for sure, or it's on the table like that, and I love roulette. I love roulette if I'm like if I know I'm gonna go for a long haul, just I'm there for like 4 or 5 hours. I just want to sip and drink and stuff like that, because I have a system with that. You know what I mean? Like that. It's I'm not gonna get super rich at all because I don't play none of my money in the middle like that. Everything is on the edge. All right. Okay. So if you know what I'm talking about, right, like that. If you know, like that. So I always play just I just play odds and evens and then blacks and reds and stuff like that. So that's all I play. And then I have a little system because once I get high enough on my, like, I probably double or triple my money like that, then I'll start doing odds and evens and black and reds, like that. So if I hit one, then boom, man, I'm
you make it.
Yeah, I started like that. But
no
like
corners,
black, yeah,
no none of that.
But yeah, no, I don't play nothing in the middle. I've seen so many people lose their money so fast,
bro.
You
can get your hat playing roulette, like for that. Real.
I remember watching. I was scrolling through Instagram and I was watching Drake and like that. And this dude got like 250,000 bets, on 11, like that. I think it's like 11 black.
Right.
And bro hits. Bro, it's like
was it like 33 times.
It's like a 3. Yeah, it's 36.
Yeah, it's 30.
Yeah. And it turns that in. It's like a freaking like a $3.6 million freaking.
Yeah, like I don't have to work for a couple of years.
Like it's not like he ain't making that money just singing one song.
Right.
Like that. But I'm like, maybe one day. I don't know. That fucking around money.
I mean,
like,
just throw 5 on it.
Huh?
Just put 5 on it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I only do those things like that when I'm already low on my chips and it's probably my last 25, freaking, or like my 5 or 10 like that, and I'm like, fuck it here. And then what ends up happening? I start freaking getting that wave back and building back up. It's so weird how that happens.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
I'm like, I go to the casino and I'm really bad. Like I have to give my ATM card to somebody, like my credit cards to somebody. Like this is what I'm gonna play, and that's it. Because I'll be like, I know it's going to hit this next time. I know it's going to hit this next time.
I just need one more 100.
And that's why I don't go to the casinos. That's exactly what happened to me.
I like, you got to have a mindset like, I'm bringing like X amount of dollars, maybe you saved up and it's like 1,000, 5,000, something like that, and then like one, and when you go, then that's it. Like
that's it.
I'm bringing this money because I know I'm gonna lose it.
Right.
And like obviously, if you win money, whether you break even or you even freaking probably win like $1,500 or even double it, like then that's when you're on freaking cloud 9.
Right.
You know what I mean? But once it's gone, it's gone. Like you have to tell yourself that's it. You know what I mean? You can't be going freaking bankrupt, like that. I remember like the first time I ever been to Vegas, and then on top of that, the Astros won. So I want to say, what was this? 2015, 2016. They won their first ship,
right?
Like that. And I was in Vegas with my boy for SEMA Auto Show, like that, bro. less than an hour, I already lost all my money because I was just so happy. It's like I was just there the whole weekend just for the cars, you know, because that was already paid for, and just to watch my friend play. Because I was like, all right, I can't pull no money out. That's it. I already lost all my money.
That's why I started liking the Hold'em tournaments, because you pay the buy-in, you get a certain amount of chips, and then like you can't like that's what you have. Like if you lose, so you paid $150, they give you 10 grand in chips.
Don't buy yourself back in.
You don't buy yourself back in. But when you go to the table and you're playing poker at the table, they're like, oh, you want some more chips? Here you go. And I can't do it.
So getting into betting, the reason I want to bring this up, all right, because like I want to know how often this happens, all right. So there is a sports insider, all right. What just happened in NBA? What just happened? You know what just happened in the NBA? NBA? Yeah. Last week was the NBA draft.
Oh, right.
Like that. So last week was the NBA draft, like that, and so they had this one guy. I want to say his name was Scoot. You know how they have some crazy names, right? I think his name is Scoot Henderson. All right, this dude is built like a freaking a linebacker. All right, playing basketball.
Okay, that's not the guy I'm thinking about. Okay, go.
And so I want to believe that Charlotte Hornets was number 3. So look that up for me. I want to say that they're in line to draft 3rd pick. All right, and so an insider. All right, this is what's fucked up about this. All right, so there's an insider, a reporter, that came out freaking the week of the draft, and started freaking speaking talking up Scoot Henderson, all right, ahead of the guy that they knew the Charlotte Hornets were gonna draft. All right, so why does that even affect anything? All right. Well, for sports bettors, all right, freaking that affects everything, because now he put it out there. And so are you familiar with a pump and dump?
No.
All right. Okay, you better understand these terms. All right? This is exactly what he did. He did a pump and dump. All right, and what
gangster scheme.
All right. So this is like white collar crime. All right, they talk this product up like that, get everybody to buy into it, and then freaking from there they get all the revenue and their profits from it like that. Then they sell all their shares, knowing that the fucking product was a piece of shit anyway, like that, and then freaking bounce. All right, like that. So that's what it's called. It's called a pump and dump. Okay. All right. So essentially, that's what they did with this guy. Yeah. All right. They this insider reporter.
That's hilarious, bro.
Pumped up Scoot Henderson, knowing that Charlotte Hornet already had their freaking mindset on freaking this other player. I don't even know the other player's name. All right, like that. And so then everybody freaking on like FanDuels and stuff like that started betting that this Scoot Henderson guy was going to go number 3 to Charlotte Hornet. Well, he didn't. All right, and it was the guy that everybody knew who they're going to pick. But this is the interesting thing, all right, because all the money that freaking that FanDuel made from the people switching over to Scoot Henderson getting picked number 3, they benefited from that. All right, they got all that profit because everybody lost out on betting on Scoot Henderson. Yeah. And so guess who was working for FanDuel? The insider, the reporter. Ain't that kind of crazy? All right. How do you feel about that?
Got him.
That is. I mean, well, you know, that's like insider trading for like the SEC.
I think it should just work like that in general, all across the board. Anything that come with betting and money and people's freaking professional careers and lives and things like that, you know, for sports. All right, because right now, I don't know if you saw this in NFL. NFL is cracking down hardcore on any players that are betting. I think now, I think recently, just in this past week, like 4 NFL players have been freaking suspended for all of 2023 and 2024 season. Like that, yeah, they is not playing around because what was there's the wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. He got freaking suspended for a whole year because he was playing fantasy football during his season. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, so like it's been going on long, but it's kind of just crazy that you got people like reporters that are, you know, freaking doing these type of action like that, and who's there to freaking slap him on the wrist? You know what I mean? Who's there to freaking, you know, hold him accountable?
Is it, bro? See, so But you're still gambling, though. You're still gambling, though.
Yeah, but
you
you manipulate. It's one thing. Okay, it's one thing when you're gambling. All right, because nothing's being nothing's like being manipulated.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then now you have an insider that you trust because they study the game, they talk about the game, they know the players and stuff, and then now you're putting your money where on what he's saying. So he's saying something knowing that freaking that's not, he's pumping it up, and then freaking he just
but you know what else that is?
What is it?
That's people trying to get, like, they're not doing their own research. They're just but
at the end of the day, yeah, you got to blame yourself.
I always have thought, like, I'm not necessarily saying betting. Like, if a football player wants to bet on a basketball game, like, who cares? I don't think that you should be able to bet on anything that you have control
in
over.
the season. Yeah.
Like
that's what NFL's doing right now.
Like there's I can bet how many catches that Eric's gonna get, and I'm the quarterback. I'm just gonna keep throwing him the ball till he gets the number of catches. Then once it's like, oh, I bet that he won't get 10 catches. I'm not throwing him the ball anymore.
They already they already do that. In the sense they like quarterbacks and receivers and running backs and stuff. They're already on the same book. Especially if you y'all all working together and y'all have a good what's the word I'm saying? I can't even say it. Cohesive team.
Oh, okay.
Cohesive team. There you go.
All right, got it.
A good cohesive team. You know what I mean? Like I believe freaking last year, Tom Brady, was talking to Gronk, and Gronk needed one more freaking catch to get like a
to get his bonus. To get his bonus,
like $250,000 bonus. Like that, and freaking and they're already winning the game, and like Tom was like, nah, y'all out, we're in. Passes him like a little freaking 1 yarder to the sideline like that, boom,
right,
$250,000, like that. So like that's a bit different, and I'm pretty sure the owners hate that. Yes. But you know what? That's not affecting other like people betting on the game, wise. You know what I mean? That's just different. You know what I mean? That's looking out for your boy, and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, we're working together, we winning. All right, I want to see you succeed too, like that. And that's like kind of a big, fuck you to the office.
Well, I mean, they put it in the contract.
Yeah. No, I get it like that. But you're not manipulating the games where you're shaving points or like and things like that. The
ones that get me worse than the players though is the refs, bro.
Oh, bro.
When you watch any game, umpires, refs, you're like.
Have you ever seen that one ref documentary? It's like a 30 for 30 ESPN one. Yeah, the one that was doing all the. Oh, bro, that one right there is just fucked up. It's just so crazy. You know what I mean?
Like blatantly. Yeah. Like just like, oh, I'm not gonna say it.
And like I think it happened like the whole span of his career. I think he ref for like almost 20 years or something like that. And freaking and he was calling all these games, championship games like that, and he was the number one ref too. He came all the way up to being the number one ref, and it's crazy because no one questioned him,
Right.
Yeah.
It was like that. This is the call he made.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And the thing, he did it super smart. He wasn't like had 100% freaking win accuracy and making sure that he was filling his pockets. No, he probably like won 60-70, lost 30-40. You know what I mean?
Enough.
He would enough to stay under the radar. But it's just fucked up that it went that long. And for me, I always like I've always been I always say like. There needs to be a way where refs in across the sport. All right.
Right.
How many times you see UFC like that where. Or like boxing. Boxing, I think, is probably one of the worst freaking sports out there. Where refs, when it's leave to the refs like that like you don't even know which way it's gonna go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Look at the latest one with Rolando. I don't know his last name. He just won the title and stuff like that against a dude that was like 35-40 years old, and this kid is like 21 22 years old, like that.
Boxer?
It's a boxer, and he got knocked before Ryan Garcia knocked him out like that. Look at like that. And I want to say it might be like Rolando Cruz or something, you know what I mean? And he has he had the freaking like he had that meat coat, super freaking big lisp, trying to talk trash.
Rolando
Romero, yeah, that dude, all right? Everybody had him on the cards losing, all right, like that. All the way up until the refs stopped it, okay? Oh, yeah. All right, there's no reason for the ref to stop it because the fighter was still good. You know what I mean? If anything, he was landing punches. He was still throwing back. But you look at the card afterwards, and it was like, this dude was winning on everything. You know what I mean? Winning on total strikes, significant strikes, power punches like that. Freaking how the heck did the ref stop it and call it for the other guy? You know what I mean? And I've always been a big advocate. You know what I mean? Like that. I'm like, why aren't these refs getting fined? You know what I mean? You see these players, man, freaking always getting fined crazy big numbers, bro. You know what I mean? Wearing shoes outside of the jersey colors, $50,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wearing, saying something in public, $100,000. Like.
Speaking against the organization.
Yeah, like something, just like a little slap on the wrist, or it might have a bruise on the eye, like that. But then you got people that are judging and freaking in control of your organization, your company, all right, because they have to outsource all this stuff.
All of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. The NFL cannot ref their own games. They have to outsource it to the state, the commission and stuff like that. Why aren't these guys getting penalized?
Bro, the boxers, so like in boxing, see, to me, like, you got the refs, but then you also got, you got judges.
Yeah, bro.
Like, bro, the judges?
It's an uphill battle, bro.
Come on.
If they don't want you to win, guess what?
You will not win.
And that's why the big saying all the time, and when you're fighting and stuff, do not leave it to the judges.
Don't leave it to the judges.
Right? Like,
don't leave it to the judges. Because you don't know who's paying who.
How many times, like, even something like in our sport, jiu-jitsu, how many times something's so close, all right, 2-2, 1 point advantage, 1 disadvantage, all right, and the ref freaking likes this school a little bit better.
Well, or because there's no, so even if it's not that, when this comes to like the judges and the refs, it's subjective. There's no objective criteria.
Yeah.
So there's nothing for them to say, well, this person was on top, this person was on bottom, this person did this for 3 minutes of ride time versus no ride time. There's nothing subjective. Yeah. There's nothing objective. So then it's just like,
yeah,
I think this guy's gi looks a little bit better. He looked like he was trying a little bit harder than me. And it's like,
in all combat sports, and I know this is something I want to implement for my own dual league that I do and stuff like that. And I've told you about the rule set and stuff like that. And obviously nobody likes change, but I think in any combat sport, across the board, other than jiu-jitsu, is that the top guy's winning. All right. This is across the board anywhere. You know what I mean? Even in a street fight. Right. If you on bottom, guess what you doing? You losing.
You're probably losing.
Yeah.
You're probably losing.
You're probably losing. But I understand that jiu-jitsu is an art form on the ground for self-defense, to work off your back and everything like that. So there's numerous of different ways to submit a guy, or strangle a guy like that, even off your back like that, or just neutralize the guy off your back. Okay, I understand that. But then when it comes to jiu-jitsu, there has to be another system in place other than just points in a ref. You know what I mean, like that, because what I just say, scores even. They have same advantage, same disadvantage. All right, now you leave it up to the judges. Like that. Best 2 out of 3 on who's gonna raise their hand, right or left, like that. So there's nothing saying what guy was dominant the whole time all the way through. You know what I mean, like that. And so for me, I feel that there needs to be some type of control time. You know what I mean, on top. Like that. The bottom guy, if he chooses to be on bottom, he can stay on bottom as long as he wants. But just know that, you're not in control. The top guy's in control, and so that's how the rule I would fix it like that. And I really want to implement this rule for my league going forward like that, and see how people because then what it is, it starts to give it's gonna add 2 more layers before the judges, before it even gets to the judges.
See, there's got to be. I just always believe in objective criteria. Yeah. Like there's got to be some objective criteria, because even when you look at when you look at boxing, which is way hard to but even if you look at our UFC, significant strikes, that's something you say, okay, nobody did anything, but let's look at significant strikes. But we've all seen the matches where you look at it you say, oh, this guy definitely landed the harder punches. That he loses the fight. Then he showed the punch numbers. He had more jabs, more significant strikes, and then lost the fight. That's after the fact.
That's why I like the PFL. Have you ever seen the PFL?
Yes.
All right. You know, and I really want to watch more, you know, for sure of it to understand, you know, how they work their criteria and their judging and stuff like that.
Right.
Because during PFL, you know, at the very top, you know, of the screen and stuff like that, they're giving real time punches landed, punch numbers, punches landed, significant strikes landed, you know, freaking power punches, you know, leg kicks, you know, body, headshots, all that. They're giving all those numbers like that, and like that right there. Hands down, everybody sees who's freaking by punches is freaking landing the more shots and stuff like that. Yeah. And unless the guy that freaking ain't landing shots and stuff like that freaking doesn't get a knockout by the end of the third round or whatever it is, guess who's winning? The guy by the numbers. By the numbers.
I think they do something like that in Who's Number One, where when they have those 15-minute like sub-only matches or whatever, the 15-minute matches, like every 5 minutes, they will say what corner they think is winning.
For real?
Yeah,
I didn't know that, man.
So they'll be like they'll be like, you know, blue corner. So now the dude in the red corner is like, shit, 5 minutes have gone by, I'm losing. Yeah. So now he's got to push the pace. So now you got to figure out what's going on.
That's why I like that little control clock, you know, for my idea like that, because, all right, like the guy on top, you know, the big question that people and that I've thought of is like, okay, well, you know. Well, he's just going to stall on top if he's just gaining all this control time, you know, for it to be objectively, you know, who's going to be the winner. Like, nah, the guy on top cannot stall. He still has to press forward and look for, you know, transitions and score, or look for the submission. He cannot just stay on top. Right. The guy on bottom can stall, all right, because he's choosing to be on bottom and play that game. But he needs to understand, because he can stall, he can, you know, he's losing, all right? He's giving up this amount of clock time of control for the top guy, you know what I mean? Like that. And then so at the end of the round, all right, it's tied 2-2 like that. But then now, Jules, you have freaking, you know, a minute worth of clock control time like that. And I've been on bottom the whole time. Okay, it goes to you, right? You know, because you controlled me. You know, for a whole minute longer than I controlled you throughout that round.
It definitely makes a difference when you have it. It will come to play in the strategy, because you'll see people that they'll play the game like I'm gonna wait for the last 30 seconds.
Nah, there ain't no more waiting for the last 30 seconds.
I'm gonna wait for the last 30 seconds to sweep. But now it's different, because if you wait for the last 30 seconds, so it definitely, all things that can be done in combat sports within reason, like definitely with participant safety in mind, they can help push the pace. Yeah, it's just always better. Like when you watch, because you know, like I love bare knuckle fighting, right? Like I love watching it, but it's bare knuckle, but the rounds are shorter. Yeah, because it's bare knuckle. You know, it's bare knuckle, so you have shorter rounds. But the shorter rounds mean you have to push the pace also. Yeah, because it's a shorter round.
Yeah. Bro, I know when I'm sparring, you know, whether I'm sparring in MMA sparring, or even sparring for jiu-jitsu, you know, rolling and stuff like that, man, when it's those 2-3 minute rounds, bro, I get so gassed, because, you know, people just push the pace a lot faster, you know what I mean? Like that. As a matter of fact, you know, that's what it reminds me, like in the Olympics, all right? Freaking in the Olympics, they have very short rounds. I believe they have only 2-minute rounds in the Olympics.
Oh, you're
Olympic boxing, like that. Man, they go crazy.
They ham.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Within that 2 minutes, they is just punching, man. Like, they're like almost 100 punch count in that 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Like that. And because I believe they only do like 5 or 6 rounds or something like that. Like
you have to push the pace. You have. That's what people want to see, is they want to see you pushing the pace. And so when you watch, like, you know, the jiu-jitsu world's finals, and you see the black belt matches, if you don't know what you're watching, that 10-minute match is brutal, because it's long. Yeah, and it's
be born to the outside eye.
Right, and it's micro movements that you're watching. You're like, oh man, he's got this grip. Like, something bad's about to happen. But it takes him 2 minutes to get there. Yeah. Now, you watch the blue belt matches, and they're 6 minutes. And these boys are going.
They might be missing every transition and opportunity in the world.
Right, but they have not stopped.
But it's fun to watch. They rolling.
The kids matches. They're 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They're rolling all over the place like little armadillos, and you're like, oh man, what is this? It's crazy. Yeah. And it's terrible jiu-jitsu, but it's exciting. It's entertaining to watch because they're missing their grips, they're doing everything. But if you can push the pace, man, definitely push the pace and everything.
Yeah. All right, so today, guys, all right, I want to introduce a new segment to the show, all right, and hopefully this is a good one, all right, like that. And what we calling it, all right, what I'm going to call it is Guess the Rules, all right? So, all right, so let me go ahead and pull this up right here.
Oh, Lord.
Right. I want y'all to tell me, all right? Explain to me what the rules is for this, all right? Go ahead.
Oh my God, bro. Okay. So okay.
Out of bounds right there.
That was out of bounds?
No. Because this part is crazy. Okay, so for the people that don't know,
go ahead.
The people that don't know, but anybody who's on Instagram, you've seen this viral video, and it's got these two dudes shirtless on the beach. Look like they may be some sort of Middle Eastern descent, and they're just slapping each other on the chest, like
it's
walking around.
Head slaps, chest slaps.
Are they in a circle, in a square? Are they just like?
All right, so I'm gonna go first. All right, I think this is what the rules is, because look, you got the one guy. He's trying to run, but the guy keeps cutting him off. All right, so obviously I feel like the guy that is pressing forward, he needs to get to an objective. I think that's what all right, it's a tap out just from the pain of the slaps. I think those are two rules.
Okay,
what do you think, Lynn?
I don't know. This guy that's running back, like I don't know. I don't like him running away like that. I feel like he's in trouble.
And then I think because I saw another one of these. It was two smaller guys, all right. But this guy, man, he was getting a lot of applause every time he jumped high in the air and came down with the slaps. So I think that gives you some type of points.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, guess the rules. What's the rules,
bro? Yeah, I don't have. So here's the thing, though. Many times as I've seen this, I was like, "How do I look up what this sport is called?" Because you know what, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try it again right now.
Not me looking at look at the caption. It's like,
okay.
No, the caption does not help at all.
Not at all.
The caption doesn't help at all.
Like the caption is, "What are you, nuts?"
Hold on.
All right, I'm gonna make sure to post this, guys. All right, it's gonna be up here around my shoulder somewhere. All right, so guess the rules. Please leave a comment on what you think the rules is. All right, so Lynn, what would you call this sport? What would the name of this sport be for you? Man, it's like some just crazy slap boxing, bro.
I know that's all I can think of, like slap boxing.
No, okay. It's called slap. Kabadidi?
Slap kabadidi?
Yeah, okay, so, right. A well-known sport in Pakistan.
Pakistan sport. Okay, what's the rules? Does it say it?
Yeah.
Hold on, let's see. Okay, that's just several rules for life.
Bro,
I can't look away. It's like a train wreck.
Hey, those smaller guys, man, they were jumping high.
The objectives are to score points or to tap out the opponent.
All right, I got one.
It's two. Okay, so slap. No, wait. Slap kabaddi. There's two of them. Slap. There's kabaddi, which is seven players on each side. Slap kabaddi is one player on each side. You tap to tap out the opponent with no time limit.
No time limit, just getting slapped.
Just getting slapped
until you literally tap out.
You just get slapped. You just get slapped.
Man.
It says, okay, it's a relatively simpler game that involves little to no rules except for incessant slapping.
You just better have a strong.
Y'all rather take the punches or the slaps?
Oh
no, punches,
bro! Punch me, please.
Yeah, punches.
Because punches don't sting.
Yeah, they don't sting.
Yeah.
You know.
And then, can you? I mean,
I'm like, that's why. Like, why don't?
Bro,
it's
you're
like,
sweaty.
would you rather take a punch or a kick to the leg?
Yeah.
I'm like, a leg kick will sting.
I know.
Like, and you'll feel that.
Please don't.
Slapping though, oh my god.
Please don't.
And they're slapping on the face, on the chest.
So what? Okay, so just tapping out, just from slap.
So
there was no objective as like trying to get to like around the guy.
Bro, it just
no extra points if you jump high and just land a slap.
Nothing that I'm like looking for.
And some more. You know what this reminds me of, and I put Lynn on this the other day.
Oh,
I mean, like,
no.
all right, ESPN ESPN D-Ocho.
Oh God, yes, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God, the Ocho.
And I, you know what my question is for that? All right, because when I first heard ESPN or D-Ocho, just D-Ocho, because that's what they call it.
Right.
They don't call it ESPN D-Ocho. They call it just D-Ocho, but ESPN does do it. All right. When I first saw it, all right, like that was Dodgeball, the movie.
Dodgeball, the movie.
All right. So was it a thing before or after the movie? I want to say it was a thing after, because
I think
afterwards, afterwards, man, you just started seeing all this crazy stuff, like freaking the tag, like, you know, the ultimate tag obstacle courses and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Have you ever seen?
I would love to play that.
Have you ever seen the battle royale? It's like a team battle royale with guys that are freaking juggling pin like, bro, yes, you see
the sign spinners.
All right, I'm saying, hey guys, all right, new segment. All right, I'm gonna be in search of this every single time, you know, for the sports come up. All right, guess the rules. All right, we already messed this one up. Jules looked it up.
Bro, this is crazy though.
I saw this. I had to think. I was like, "What the hell are the rules for this? Why are they doing this?"
Bro, this is a website. Olympics.com has Kabaddi rules in it, but there's two different ones.
This is an Olympic sport.
Bro,
jiu-jitsu is not an Olympic sport, but this is an Olympic sport.
4,000-year-old indigenous.
What are we doing wrong in jiu-jitsu, guys? What are we doing wrong in jiu-jitsu that we can't have it as an Olympics?
But bro, it's 7-on-7 for the Olympics.
Right.
I want to watch that.
All right, guys. All right, leave your comments. All right,
this is crazy.
On what you think of this sport?
On
what you think about.
We should set it up and just have 7-on-7
Oh.
and just be slapping the shit out of each other.
I'm like, you know, that sucks. That sucks because then, like, you know, it's like those Russian combat ones. You know, you've seen those Russian MMA ones. All right, whoever gets knocked out the first, all right, like that, bro. That's it. Your team is done,
bro.
Because immediately now that guy's going to jump the guy with this person like that. They knock his ass out, and it's just a trickle effect of just, man.
Bro, that gangbang MMA match.
Pause. Hold up. I was like, is that a sport?
Have you seen that though? Where they have like it's like 5-on-5 MMA.
In the
so
cage.
They just throw 10 people in the cage and like fight it out.
Yeah.
Oh.
That Karjitsu, all
Karjitsu's crazy, bro.
That's fucking cool.
I'm gonna be on the
set. You
set.
start sitting next to each other like this.
Yeah.
And then you go and try to attack each other.
Man, people are just watching way too much action films, like John Wick shit. I could do that in a car. I bet you I could beat you in a car doing that shit. And I bet you that's how it started. I bet you that's how it started.
They get real sneaky when they put the seatbelt around you, and then they pull the lever down for the seat to go down.
When you were little, all right. So you got brothers and stuff like that playing. When you were little, what's like the craziest game that y'all played when y'all were little?
Oh, crazy! Damn. So one of the things that we used to do when we were little. All my brothers we're all older, right?
Obviously.
So yes. One of the things that we used to do, bro, is when we would watch the kung fu movies.
Yeah.
So no idea how to do it, but you remember. So the Tomonagi, the judo kick, where you put your foot on it, and throw the people over your head.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we used to do that to each other all over the house, bro. Like constantly just judo throwing each other with no formal training of judo at all. But we just throw each other in the house. And I remember, like, one of my brothers, my middle brother threw the baby brother. He almost hit the ceiling because he just like launched him.
What?
And then he just hit the ground. Oh, bro.
Oh, shit.
Bro, crazy. 100%. We used to do all kind of shit to each other.
All right. So sticking with sports and stuff like that. All right. I want to go in right now. All right. And so let me see if I can screenshot this without fucking. You know what? There we go. Let me see if I can screenshot this like that. All right. So top 10 sports in the world. All right. So I'm gonna give you the 6 through 10, and I want y'all to guess, you know, what 1 through 5 is. All right, like that. And so right now, all right, so 6 through 10, basketball, rugby. Let me see. going through. This guy's taking forever. I was trying to screenshot it and see
Sports.
top 10 sports in the world. All right, like that. All right, table tennis, basketball, rugby. All right, horse racing. And boxing are 6 through 7. All right, that's not even cracking top 5. So top 5.
Is soccer in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Football number 1.
Soccer's got to be.
Yeah. Football. All right, let's go. It's number
Baseball.
1. Nope.
No baseball.
Really?
No baseball.
Okay. Top 10 sports in the world.
Lacrosse. Lacrosse in there?
No lacrosse.
I wouldn't guess lacrosse. You already said table tennis.
Table tennis is number 6.
Okay. You already said table tennis. You already said basketball. You already said football.
So table tennis, basketball, rugby, boxing, and horse racing is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you already got soccer, football.
Soccer,
all right, number one.
All
right,
it's got to be number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top 10 sports in the world.
Top 10 sports in the world, not America, in the world. All right, and this is gonna carry us over to our next
we're not
topic.
talking about like crochet. I'm not crochet. You said crochet earlier. Cricket.
Cricket, number 2.
Cricket. Okay.
Okay.
Right? Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I got cricket. Okay. Cricket's good. Okay.
I got
What
a fun
else?
fact about cricket after this. All right, I said.
I fuck with
All
cricket.
right. So you got number 1, number 2, soccer, then cricket. Think about the world now. All right.
We said no to rugby. Tennis.
Tennis, yes, number 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Tennis has to be in there. Okay. So what up? Oh, wrestling.
Nope, no wrestling.
No wrestling.
No wrestling.
I don't.
I think
know.
table tennis is for those people that are really unathletic and don't like to move around like
Bro,
that.
have you seen the
Nah,
table tennis
yeah.
matches, bro?
No, they be
They're
going- they be
crazy.
going down. All right.
I'm like, what is it?
All right, so let's go ahead and speed it up. All right, so football number 1, cricket number 2, hockey number 3,
Oh, hockey.
tennis number 4. This one right here threw me off. Volleyball.
Really?
I see that.
Yes.
I see that because people play it at the beach. People play it everywhere. Like that's
I
just
like
like one of
watching
those.
volleyball.
I mean, like
Things
you
you
would
pack to
think
go
that
do
you would think
everywhere.
that would be like more freaking like on TV more or something like that. I don't see volleyball.
There's so many leagues out there.
Honestly, the only time leagues, yeah, but like
Yeah.
what are you talking about? You're talking about people like me and you that are just going out there having
Oh,
some
man,
beers
they got, like, the
and
Russians.
not even freaking getting a good freaking volley going on or nothing
So-
like
so
that.
in
After
Galveston-
2 hits, that's it. The game is already next point. You know?
So in Galveston, out by like Stewart Beach and stuff, they have like a whole setup for teams.
Yeah,
to go and do that stuff. Like
Yeah, but
every
like,
weekend.
as a premiere on TV.
Yeah.
And and this just goes to my point right here. All right, because this is gonna lead into our segue for our next topic right here. All right, we're talking about globally. You know what I mean? And so like America can just be so freaking isolated from everything else. You know what I mean? Like that we don't think of these other sports as being popular because we're just so stuck onto what? Football, basketball, baseball.
Yeah.
All right. So fun fact about cricket. All right. Baseball was made, all right, as a big fuck you. All right.
To cricket.
To cricket. Well, because cricket was invented,
Europe.
by Europe.
Uh-huh.
All right.
English
So
sport.
when
Yeah.
we, all right, 4th of July, Independence Day, like that. They came over here and we adopted it, but they were so freaking haters on like calling it cricket.
Mm-hmm.
They called it baseball. Like
They-
that. It's
see,
Nice.
yeah.
So when you think when I think about global sports, which is the reason football's so big, soccer is
Football.
because
You had to say it with
football
football.
is because it's the amount of money that it takes to play the sport. So it doesn't cost anything to play football. You just need a ball. You need something round that you can kick,
Yeah.
and then places you can kick it through. And the same way with baseball.
I'm
So
like,
that's why
man.
volleyball makes sense to me. Volleyball actually makes sense to me. You just have to hit. They be able to hit it over like a fence, like 4 guys or whatever. Beach volleyball is crazy though.
I love
It's
some
an
beach
Olympics.
volleyball.
I love some beach volleyball.
Okay.
The best beach volleyball match I've ever seen is the one in Top Gun.
Have you seen the second one?
The one, the Maverick.
They're
Yeah.
younger and tighter. Right?
I'm just saying. If you want
I mean, I tell you right now,
Maverick
man.
and Goose versus Iceman and
Hey,
what's his buddy's name?
Maverick Goose.
Maverick Goose. Iceman's wingman's name was wasn't Joker. Joker was the instructor. It'll come to me in a minute.
Man, yeah, you better get a lot of haters on you. I'm not that deep into.
I love Top Gun.
Yeah, Maverick, Goose, Iceman, and wasn't it Ace?
Was it Ace?
Maybe.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
All right. Yeah, but
okay, so keep going.
For beach volleyball, you know what I love playing, all right, like that. And y'all gonna hate me if y'all ever invite me like that, because I will bring it and I'll introduce it, all right, like that. Go ahead. Viper.
What the heck is that?
The what, for Viper?
Yeah.
Viper was the other name for
it was in Top Gun.
Yeah.
It was Maverick and Goose. They had their plane. And then Maverick's rival was Iceman.
And
Viper. His wingman's name was Viper.
Yeah. No, but for me, what I'm talking about, because we're talking about beach volleyball, is getting a freaking medicine ball, you know, like that.
Oh.
And playing muscle ball.
Why do you have to go to the extreme?
I've seen that. I've seen that. That's
man,
crazy.
that gets you so tired.
I've seen that. In the sand?
Yeah, in the sand, like that. And
rough.
the only two, there's only two rules, all right? It's just the ball can't hit the net, all right?
Okay.
Like that, and then freaking you only score a point. You either score a point because the ball hits the net, or, you know, they didn't catch it and it drops to the floor. That's it. All right, and you only, you know, so whoever catch it, they have to return it. That's it. You know, like that. There's no passing off like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got a 10-pound freaking medicine ball like that, just tossing it back and forth.
Oh
all right, like that. Oh, man, I'm talking about, bro, your arms, your shoulders, your core.
Catching it, your
you know, just running in the sand trying to get to it like that. Like, man, it's brutal like that. But like just to switch it up, you know, like that. You know, for a game that, you know, is real fast paced, and now you got to kind of slow it down.
Like a nightmare.
It could be fun. It could be fun for like 1 or 2 games.
1 or 2 games to like 3.
Yeah, like that. Man, I tell you, it get you some good cardio and strength like that for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Right, so the reason I brought this up, right? Because again, all right, on a global freaking, you know, stage. People, you know, again, like especially Americans, we're just so, you know, into our own sports. And now, what's the most, you know, what's the fastest climbing sport right now, freaking in the industry? UFC, yeah, for sure. Come on, man, you're killing me. Yeah, UFC for sure. And like when it come out, like 96.
Ooh.
Or 92.
It's early 90s, bro.
Early 90s. All right, let's go ahead 92.
Okay.
All right, 92. That's still what, 30, 31 years?
Young.
You know what I mean? Like that. You're talking about sports, you know, like boxing, you know, that's been around since, you know, the 1800s and stuff like that. You know, like that. So this, you know, for it to still be rising and, you know, money-wise and stuff like that, what do you got on there?
93.
All right, close. All right. Like that, yeah, you know, and so right now, all right, a big thing that I keep hearing, and I'm sure y'all are hearing like that, is ONE FC rivaling UFC.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing? All right, why do you think that's a thing right now, Lynn?
I mean, UFC needed a competition. It was like they were like #1 everywhere. And
but what's
like
ONE FC doing? You know, that you see that is even getting close to UFC.
I kind of like what UFC did, just giving like people a chance to rise up that people couldn't get on UFC. They were like, all right, well here's one, and you can get on this.
How about yourself?
Climb the ladder.
So, UFC focuses on mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
But one doesn't really focus. It has different disciplines, so you can watch a one event and see different types of fighting.
Yes.
So when you watch UFC, you can see a guy that does Muay Thai and see a guy that does jiu-jitsu or submission grappling. But in one, you can watch a Muay Thai match.
Yes.
And just like strictly Muay Thai. So it's elbows, it's knees, you know, takedown, but then you got to get back up. Or you can watch a submission grappling match. Or you can, and those things that I appeal to a larger crowd, because everybody doesn't want to watch the strict brutality of an MMA match. Of an MMA match. So I think that's dope, and I also think that what ONE is doing is it took now we'll see. ONE brought pride into the modern times.
Yeah.
because Pride was crazy.
Yeah, their showmanship and entertainment, you know, like that. Like what's I don't even know the girl, but she's always dancing when she's coming out, and then she just goes, knocks the girl out and then dances some more. Oh
my God, she just fought a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, like, she just does a little dance.
She's over there twerking on all of them, beating their asses.
Yeah. No.
Never heard.
And
of
amazing.
Yeah,
and she fights MMA and Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Like she's it starts with an S. Right? It starts with
an S. You're onto something, all right? And you're exactly right, all right, what you're saying. Because I remember when I was fighting, and I was
Stamp.
What?
Stamp.
Stamp? That's her name? What's her last name? It's not like just Prince or anything like that. It's just one word.
I know. I don't.
So
Stamp Fairtex.
Stamp Fairtex. Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
Stamp Fairtex.
Is she freaking sponsored by them? I hope she is with that last name.
Bro, she's crazy, bro.
She will twerk on you and beat your ass.
Okay. So she's professionally known as Stamp Fairtex. Her name is...
You probably can't even pronounce it.
And I'm not going to try to. But her last name is Panthon.
Panthon?
Yeah, Panthon.
She put that chokehold on your ass.
Yo.
And what weight class
crazy. This is it says atom weight and straw weight. So 115.
Like 115, 110, 115.
Yeah, 5'2", 115.
Dang.
Yeah,
that's
tiny.
Small,
yeah,
but
tiny.
she got power though.
Yeah,
you know, even
nuts.
at that weight, she got power.
She's nuts.
Yes, it's crazy.
She's
man.
nuts.
Yeah.
If you watch her fight, and she comes out, she does a whole
tonight.
little dance when she comes out. Like a lot of fun, like real vibrant, a lot of energy, and then annihilates her opposition.
So,
dang.
Getting back to what you say, I love what you said because I remember when I was fighting, all right, and I always thought it was a weird thing when we would have a hybrid show like boxing and MMA in a boxing ring. Like that, you know, like it threw me off like that. But I was like, you know what? I'm young. I need to get these fights in. I don't give a fuck what I fight in. I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? But then now looking today, what ONE FC is doing, and no one understand that because, all right, one of the biggest matches that they hosted freaking a couple years ago. All right, Demetrius Johnson and then freaking that Muay Thai guy that just eats punches. I don't know his name either.
Yeah.
All right, like that. So, all right. This was a crazy fight because the first round was all Muay Thai. Second round, MMA. It didn't even make it to the third round like that. But you see what I mean? Like that. All the rule sets for the first round was Muay Thai. All right? And then freaking Demetrius Johnson, you know, he has it on documentary saying, like, man, I hit this dude. This dude was walking through my punches. I knew if I just made it to the second round, I'm going to take his ass down, choke him out. Sure enough, that's what he did. Choked him out. All right, like that.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I didn't realize that though. You know, I thought it was just all they agreed to an MMA match. You know what I mean, like that. You know what I mean? No, but then I went back and I was watching the fight itself again, and I was like, oh shit! I had to rewind it. I was like, this is a fucking all Muay Thai first round. Second round they changed the rules and it's all MMA. So for them to do those things, you know what it's playing to? It's really playing to today's freaking hyper super ADHD.
Rod Tang.
Like that dude fucking just walks through punches, all right? But like, just that the short term of people, of that they just can't focus on just one thing.
Yeah.
So Pride, I don't know if you remember, but Pride was like in Asia. Like the fights are big shows. Like they're not little, they're big shows.
Yeah, Akuza, Money, freaking, they're doing.
They used to have like they had a specific announcer for the Pride matches. They used to they actually got that same person to announce the Pride fights to announce
one
ADCC.
Oh,
the one with she really crazy voice, but they used to allow soccer kicks to the head of a downed opponent.
Yeah,
like you were like, oh, this is. But then one did that also for a little while because they liked the spectacle of the fighting matches. So Gabby Garcia used to go overseas and fight, and she had a fight. Gabby Garcia, who's, she is who she is, but
She-Hulk. Yeah,
she fought. She had a match against an MMA fight against like a 50-year-old woman that was like 120 pounds. Right, it was crazy, but it was a huge show over there because of the spectacle of it all.
Yeah.
And so you have people going over there. Bushesh is over there. Mushameshi's over there. Ty Ruotolo's over there. Tommy Langaker's fighting at one. Like they're drawing people to get matches because they're paying people for discipline that you couldn't ordinarily get paid. UFC is not. Okay, so UFC just had their event the other day. Yeah. It was a jiu-jitsu event, but traditionally UFC wasn't doing that. Like they're trying to catch up because people are going. People are going overseas.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean, a pretty good friend of mine, DJ Jackson, used to train with Team Lloyd Irvin. Is over there teaching jiu-jitsu in Thailand to the Muay Thai guys, so that they can compete in the ones and the. Bro, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You know, and that's a good point that you bring up, because now, you know, would you say Gabby Garcia was the first for like the jiu-jitsu world, or would you say mainly Buchecho? You know, now that he's making him way more premier, who would you say would be the first that went over to one? I want to say Gabby Garcia. You know, when I first was gonna make this, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking only about Marcus, you know, like that. But now that you just said Gabby, I was like, I remember the only reason I even knew about one was because of Gabby Garcia, and then watching those just crazy mixed match fights with her. You know what I mean? And then like kind of opened the door for, you know, but whoever it was, you know what I mean, good on them. You know why? Because it did open the door, and then and with one doing what they're doing now, all right, I think this is the first time that now jiu-jitsu guys, all right, that are able to make a living,
right,
you know, and get paid good money for it, you know, for all their hard work, because there's nothing wrong with, you know, competing in ADCC and then IBJJF and stuff like that, but like, who's getting paid out? It's only the 1%ers.
You gotta eat, you gotta feed your family.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and like that. And then on top of that, these guys, you know, freaking, there's the 1%ers, and it's, what is it, like 10,000, you know, max $50,000 or something like that, depending on like that, you know, freaking, it's not, you know, like, it's a hit or miss if you're really gonna freaking you know, consistently make that type of money that you want to, you know, do this type of lifestyle for a living. You know what I mean? All right, like that. Nobody wants to be working a construction job, you know, and then fucking training, you know, 6-7 times a week, 3 to 4 hours a day and shit like that. And then you're only getting paid what, fucking, you know, with a medal or freaking $10,000. You know, it's like, you know, oh, you know, that's 2 months worth of rent. You know, like, you know, you know what I mean. You want to make sure that you know, if you're freaking, you know, working hard and stuff like that, and you're at the top 1%, the leader, the elite, like that, like, man, like, this is something that you can hang your hat on, and then like know that, you know what, this is my full time.
I can feed my family like
this is my full time, you know, like that. And I you know, good on them, because now they really opened the floodgates, you know, and then, you know, you seeing those guys, you know, going over there and stuff like that. And now you know, you have the opportunity in just one show where you're seeing, you know, Muay Thai, and I love the fact that it's small gloves Muay Thai.
Right,
you know,
4 ounce Muay Thai.
I think that's super crazy, you know, like that. You know, obviously the MMA fights itself, and then now you're having those cage match, freaking no-gi matches, like that for sure, you know. And then and I think they're just really playing towards this generation with a really short attention span. You know what I mean? Because again, you know, one big thing, that I just recently saw. All right. A top female fighter right now for UFC. All right. Shevchenko.
Oh, okay.
All right. She just lost her belt to who? The Mexican chick.
Yeah. I can't remember her name. But I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
The chick, the real Mexican
Alyssa,
chick.
fuck, man. You know, like that, you know. But, you know, that's kind of feeding into my point right there then, all right? It's because freaking, you know, what is the UFC doing? Like, every Friday night? Every Saturday?
Nights. Yeah, fight nights.
Fight nights, all right?
Yeah, UFC fight night.
You're talking about Shevchenko, all right? She's been undefeated for freaking years on end, and I think she had like 9, almost 10 title defenses and stuff.
Right.
All right? They're going for the rematch, all right? Is it pay-per-view? No,
Nope.
It's not a pay-per-view. It's a freaking Friday, ESPN Plus.
Friday
freaking,
night. Friday
show.
night fights.
Yeah. Crazy.
Friday night fight. You know, this, I feel really bad for the women fighters. Really bad for the women fighters, because especially at that weight. Because here, stateside, you don't have a bunch of 150-pound, 125-pound females that are fighting. And
freaking, there's rumors saying that now that old girl just retired, freaking that Dana White's just gonna get rid of that weight class.
Really?
Yeah.
I can. because they're just it's just recycling the same fights over and over and over again. People just keep fighting each other because there's nobody else to fight, which is I think the reason why the women in one UFC,
depth,
I think the reason why the one UFC roster is so big for women fighters is because I think that you have culturally you have smaller women in Asia.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in our fitness podcast for sure.
You can get more. You can get more fights.
Yeah,
and because except for the Lady Lion, Brazilian. Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, Amanda Nunes.
Except for Amanda Nunes.
Retired, yeah.
You couldn't get many Amanda Nunes. You couldn't get many female headliners on the card and people like, man, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna pay $70 for this UFC.
Yeah, I honestly I think she was the last, and just for the fact that she ran through, the bigger names, freaking with Cyborg and then and Ronda Rousey.
Right.
Yeah.
And
then Dana White was forced to keep her on there because she was unstoppable, still knocking people out left and right. She actually lost her belt, but then she came back and won it. Fucking won it again.
The next match.
Yeah, and
annihilated the girl.
Like that.
Yeah.
So but now there's at a point that she's already ran through the whole division, and and she's a double champ too. So she goes down to a lighter weight, freaking and fight there. And she's running through them. I'm like, there's just nobody there. It's just the depth is not there, and so for sure. And like I think it's crazy, and it was a big clap back, freaking, like that, or call out to Dana White because the ONE FC owner, man, he was going off, man, and freaking he, about that he can compete with UFC, all right, just because just the global popularity of it,
right.
They have more eyes, and again, it just goes back to because Americans are just so isolated just to UFC,
right?
Like that now that one freaking is barely coming overseas and making its way into the United States and stuff like that. Everybody's already known about one over there.
Everybody knows about one.
Yeah, like that. And he knows that and understands that and is playing to all those people out there while we're still, we're playing catch up in our own backyard and we haven't even freaking left, like that because. Yeah, you got comfortable. You were first. You did it like that, and you kind of a little bit hard-headed to change, and ways like that because you don't think nobody's gonna rival you, and then boom, you got them on the front door.
A handful of feeders with like UFC Australia, UFC whatever, but you're already talking about a type of sport that's not going to allow for a lot of people, a lot of competition, because there's not a lot of people that are going to do it. But then you don't open your doors and let everybody in. One lets everybody in, not figuratively speaking.
He's letting in a lot of different types.
They give more people.
Yeah.
They give more chances to more people from other places.
Yeah.
Not just the top coaches and not just America Top Team, the Black Zillions. Not just you've got coaches from all over the place. And then I used to watch. I used to sit and watch just Muay Thai fighting, like just Muay Thai fighting. Not even watch you just watch Muay Thai fighting. And now you mean to tell me I can sit one place, see a little Muay Thai, see a little Jiu-Jitsu, see a little MMA, and I can watch all that on one card. I don't have to keep flipping channel. I have to hunt for anything. Oh, that's crazy.
I love watching those glory days and stuff like that. Them knockouts are crazy and stuff like that. But going back to what the founder. Going back to what the founder of ONE FC, he was talking about how just dismal the fight cards are for UFC and stuff like that, and they're offering way more, and then he understands and he knows, and this is one thing I didn't know until he started talking about that, he and I felt like it was kind of a call out for Dana White because he was talking about he's the only owner right now freaking in amongst UFC, Bellator, PFL and stuff like that is actively still training in boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu and wrestling, all that. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, man, that don't sound shots fired, pop, pop, pop. You know what I mean? Like that.
But the beauty of having somebody that does that is you see it in all sports. The player coach, the teams are better.
Yeah.
The players are more loyal because now the ownership understands what the players are going through.
Yeah.
And so they understand that, hey man, you're training 6-7 times a week. twice a day. Yeah, you need some money to do this.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to compete at the higher level, you cannot really work a regular job.
Nah, man. I'm like,
No
it
way.
sucks.
No way.
You can't.
Like that, you know, like you got one of the best to ever do it. You know, pound for pound, arguably, Demetrius Johnson, he was being a construction worker. I'm like, I can't imagine working a 8, 10, 12-hour shift. I think he was actually working 12-hour shifts freaking for his construction job, you know, putting buildings up and stuff like that. That's no freaking joke.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then then you get off and then
now you got to go fight.
And you got to go fight. Yeah.
Go look up, Gabby. Go look up the Gordon Ryan Andre Galvo fight.
Okay.
Backstage. Gordon Ryan, after some match, I don't remember what it was, but Gordon Ryan rolled up and slapped the cowboy shit out of Andre Galvo.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
If you look in the aftermath of that, Gabby Garcia is backstage trying to break them up.
Okay.
Gabby Garcia 100% was bigger than Gordon Ryan and Andre Galvo. No.
Was she out here doing this to both of their heads?
Bro, I was like, because you see her next to women and you're like, yeah, she's big next to a woman because she's big next to a woman.
Yeah.
But then you see her next to these two big ass men and you're like, holy shit, she's no joke.
Yeah.
She's big. And I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
She's a female version of what's that big old black dude that used to fight for Pride, but he always got knocked out.
You're talking about
he was on The Longest Yard too, the movie. I want to say it was like Mark something.
Mark Henry?
No,
not Mark Henry.
I want to say his name was Mark something. You know what I mean? But you know exactly.
I know exactly. I can see his face.
You know,
Bob Sapp.
Bob Sapp. Damn, I was loud. I was smoking. Yeah, that. You know, and you know why he always freaking went down and got knocked out? Because he had no insurance. He didn't have no insurance, and Pride wasn't supplying insurance back then or at all like that. And so he knew if he got knocked out that he couldn't fight again. So he just went down like that because he knew if he would have got knocked out, unconscious or anything like that, freaking they would have had to suspend him for a couple months and he wouldn't be able to fight again on the next card and all like that. And then,
so he did it for money.
And then again, you know, it's just one of those things about money. You know what I mean? Like that, trying to make a living.
She's freaking huge. Look at her next to Craig Jones. She's freaking huge.
Yeah, she's a big woman. Man. She's a big woman.
All right, and then go ahead and go ahead and look up when freaking Gabby freaking collar dragged the shit out of her.
No thanks.
No.
She was sleep.
This was in Worlds.
Yeah,
Gabrielle Pisagna and Gabby Garcia were competing. It probably wasn't absolute, but Pisagna went for a collar drag,
bro,
and
slap.
And I mean, Gabby Garcia, like her whole body didn't move. She just went face first into the mat. It's crazy.
This is Worlds.
Worlds, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was Worlds. This was the year that Gabby freaking broke out.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, this is the year Gabby broke out like that, and man, to make a statement.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right, so let me ask you, all right, because, all right, and this is another thing right here that the one FC owner was saying too, like that, you know. His thing, you know, is that he understands and he's for sure on the UFC's front door, knocking. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Oh, yeah. And so he made a statement saying that globally, they're big enough for two giants to freaking to live and coincide in this world and like that. Do you think that's the case, or do you see something like the Live Golf PGA what just happened like that? You know, one big merger. You see where you see freaking now they're going because he was like, one day I want to see one of my champions fight against a UFC champion.
I can see a crossover bout like that.
I feel at one point it's gonna have to happen.
But I like the idea of. The problem is I don't want either one to get watered down by the other. You know what I mean? Like,
explain.
Like if I just want to see MMA, like if I just want to see because the thing about the submission grappling is when there's a submission grappling match in one, like that's where you see your jiu-jitsu. In UFC, you may see a little jiu-jitsu in every match. You know what I'm saying? You may get a little bit in every match. You may get, you may get a little judo. You may get a little karate if you're, shout out to Wonder Boy. He's got his little karate stance, So you may get a little karate. You get some different things. If you go and switch over to, if you merge, I mean, I feel like one is going to have to, one, and not one by one FC, but one of the companies is going to have to sit on top of the other. Like that format is going to have to be it's going to have to give way. Yeah. And I just, I kind of like the separation.
Just like, keeping them separate.
I kind of like this because you're right. It's a huge global market, and it would be nice. It would be nice if they really want to do like a merger, do like they had locally, where we long time ago when we had Legacy, and then shout out to Mick Maynard, he was pulling people up, and you could get people to go to UFC. Now he's a matchmaker at UFC. I think under 180, maybe over 180, but it doesn't make a difference. But maybe you could have kind of like the one UFC guys, at least their MMA guys, kind of be a feeder to UFC.
I don't see that happening just because they're already rivaling. Why do they need UFC?
I don't think they do.
No,
I don't think they do. I mean? I don't think they do at all.
What I see coming to a point, for everybody, a win-win for everybody, and start to make money and money like boxing money. You know what I mean? Because then
get the mob involved.
Damn.
That's besides the fact. That's why it's so corrupt. And hopefully, they can regulate it enough that it doesn't get that corrupt.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then that's why you have all these different belts. WBO, IBF, all like that. And then you have freaking Mayweather, the promotions, Golden Bull promotions, like that. Where freaking now, these are my fighters. All right. So let's see whose fighter is the best. I can I can see at one point that might happen, or it's gonna have to happen. If they ever want to get to a point where they want to, because like the biggest thing right now that's going around is just contract pay, and stuff like that, and insurance and stuff. You see it, you hear about it all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, but the thing is that it's just not really that much money for everybody to eat. This is such a huge machine like that, and you're just you're too small for everybody to eat like that to keep feeding the machine, so to speak. You know what I mean? Well, that's when you're gonna have to eventually, let's go ahead and take it bigger. All right, and I'm attract my crowd, I'm attracting your crowd like that. Now globally we're making more money like
across
that,
the board,
but then just regulating all that is going to be real difficult, because then obviously that's when all the politics start to come in, and then all the corruption and stuff like that. And so I think that's why I see why, keep it separately, because they're controlling it as best as they can now. But then you get it like that, it's going to be too big of a machine. It's going to get crazy out of hand.
I do like, and I've always wondered this, like you just said, like, how do you call yourself? So in jiu-jitsu, IBJJF people can say, I'm the world champion, because there's no rival organization, right? There's nothing else to rival a gi world champion. Where, but in boxing, there's the WBO, the IBO, the IBF, the IBC, the UBC, just the whole, and so each one of them has their own world champion, and they never cross.
Yeah,
like they very, very seldom ever.
They're in the same weight class, never freaking fight each
and
other.
They never fight. And I'm like, how are you all? And we can look back at you've got like a handful of unified champions. You know what I'm saying? They got all the belts, and they got all of them. It's a handful of them.
They don't even like that happening, man. They hate that happening.
I would definitely think that the world champion moniker for any of the sports should be reserved for the person who beats everybody. Yeah. So before you can be the heavy world champion in MMA, you have to beat the heavyweight champion from ONE FC. Like, you have to beat that guy, and then now you can call yourself a world champion, because until then you're just a guy.
I can see that happening. I'm not arguing at all what you're saying. But for that to get there, I'm like,
it may take a while.
Yeah, a long time.
It may take a while.
And then like just try to make sure it's as not corrupted, as possible, like that, and you know, hold these damn refs accountable where they ain't freaking sports betting on this shit. Like that. You know, all kinds of shit. It's just so much, you know.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is.
And you have, because it's more than just that though. Sports betting, you've got health regulations. So maybe ADCC versus IBJJF. IBJJF, they test for steroids. ADCC doesn't care. You run what you brung. You want to take a fucking trend HGH cocktail every morning, do it. Who cares? Just come over and fight. Well, I don't know. So now you have to do that. You have to get a global, like, enhancement regulating agency. But some of the stuff that's illegal here, because the FDA doesn't want it.
It's never illegal in Thailand. It's never illegal. Yeah. Why
anything goes in Thailand.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So you have like all those other things that could play into, I don't know, man, that'd be a lot. Because you just cycle off.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh, we want to do the rules over here. Okay, we'll fight in 6 months.
You know that,
cycle off.
it just, you know, not to get all into that world, you know, of drugs and steroids and stuff, and that's why these, you know, freaking, it's forever evolving with these designer steroids. You know what I mean? Like, you understand what designer steroids are. You know, they know what they're getting tested for, so they're making freaking, you know, other supplements, you know, like that, enhancing supplements that they know that is not even being tested. So you know, how can you test for something that you don't even know exists? You know, like that. And so, and then it's always after the fact, and then they're always trying to play catch up and fines and stuff like that, and you know, so it's always just a lot of litigation and just politics and stuff like that, for sure. Like that. All right, guys, that's for end of today. All right, you give us our, you know, go ahead, give us your thoughts and your comments on what you think, you know, might happen in the future, especially in the MMA world, like that. If ONE FC is on the front door of UFC, or they're gonna surpass them, you know, like that. It's sink or swim, adapt, you know, like that. UFC for sure is, you know, doing everything they can, you know, catching up, you know, with the jiu-jitsu stuff now, like that, being a little bit, you know, being more into that and things like that, and they're seeing it, you know. But the market wants it.
You can get ONE FC on Prime, bro. Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I see it all the time. PFL is already on there, and like that, and for sure ONE, you know, like that.
I mean, I know ESPN Plus is dope, but it's just Amazon Prime. There's so much more to Amazon Prime. Than just
$70 a freaking pay-per-view, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a beating.
Yeah,
that's
like
a beating
for sure. Like that. Any closing thoughts?
It's hot.
It is.
No, man. I think it's great. I'm loving the support that we're getting from you guys out there. Keep hitting us up. It's great. Follow the page. Follow us individually. We all, you know, talk shit, whatever. We don't care. You know, you just hit us up, tell us whatever, ask us whatever, comment whatever, and, you know, we'll be sure to hit you up and just appreciate the love, guys.
How about yourself, Lynn?
Yeah, no, thanks. I actually loved all the feedback too. I mean, I really love seeing all the support and all the, you know, everything that comes through us and stuff like that. I love answering these fun questions and, you know, getting all these little fun games into.
Yes, all right. Be on the lookout for the next Guess the Rules, for sure.
That was fun.
Yes, all right. Like that. All right. Y'all have a great weekend, guys. All right. Make sure that, you know,
4th of July, guys.
Make sure you put in reverse, Terry. All right. Don't stay in there. All right. Trying to light those fireworks too long. All right.
And it's hot, so put on your sunscreen when you're playing your slap.
Eat some ice cream, guys. Eat some ice cream.
And again, guys. All right. YouTube, Spotify,
Apple
Podcast, Instagram, guys. Sweat Equity. All right. _HTX. All right, look us up, follow us, guys. We do this for you every week. All right, until next time, guys. Y'all have a good one.
See ya.
All right.